Say, welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast. Oh, all
Hey,
right. Back in the saddle. Been a little bit. Um, we're trying some new things here. I'm Nicholas. I'm
Oh,
joined by
let's go
well,
Cox.
well, we've always known something about you. I'm joined by signing petitions and desperately trying to get Sierra Mist back, Justin.
I don't even drink soda. Why would I care about Sierra Mist?
I don't know because I knew you don't drink soda. That's why I was thought it was super weird that you were spending so much on petitions to get it back. And then I'm also joined by currently top bidder for a jar of sand, Jeremy.
What?
Oh, there's people on eBay selling jars of sand from where Tom Brady announced his retirement.
Oh,
So they're,
gotcha.
they're selling the jar and a picture of the location. There's a bunch of different ones on there. I think one of the top ones is like $12,000 or something like
Oh
that.
my God. People will sell anything these days.
And the fact that there's people who are actually trying to buy it is the insane part. But we are deep into football. We are 1 week away from the season being over. Today was the Pro Bowl, which I mean, did anybody bother?
No.
I hadn't been home all day, and even if I
Okay,
was, I still wouldn't have watched it.
yeah,
I got the
like
invite, but I turned it down.
um. Well, I mean, if Lamar Huntley can get the invite,
Lam- Lamar Huntley?
yeah. Wait,
You're
isn't
com
that his name?
no, you're combining two names there. It's Lamar Jackson.
Oh, and okay, who's the
What's the Ravens quarterback's name?
Tyler?
Something
Tyler Huntley?
Tyler.
Is it?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I did combine. See, this is how little I know about the Ravens. If that guy can get an invite to the Pro Bowl, clearly one of us can as well. I
It's
mean,
true. It is just flag football now.
um, but we got the Super Bowl coming up next week. Uh, let's talk about a conspiracy theory that is involving the NFL, and not the one that Justin thinks I'm going to talk about.
There's so
Um,
many.
well, it set me down a rabbit hole because it's a I knew about this other one, but it started with Damar Hamlin actually died, and they're putting out a body double.
Yeah.
Okay, that started me down a rabbit hole of the body double conspiracy. There are so many.
Oh,
There are so many body double conspiracies. One of the biggest ones is Avril Lavigne. She actually died in 2003 and was replaced by a lookalike named Melissa. They had hired her as a lookalike to like fend off the paparazzi, and then Avril killed herself. But the money train was too big, so they just made Melissa take over as Avril.
Hmm.
I have heard this one.
Okay. Um, yeah. So I mean that's the easiest one. It's going to get crazier from there. Um, any thoughts on that one, or any thoughts on Damar Hamlin?
Both are crazy. I know me and Jeremy like our conspiracy theories, but I don't think either of us buy into this one.
Okay. Well, let's. How about Tupac? He faked his death and is now living his a double life in or not a double life. He's now living in Cuba. The body that they buried was actually the body double.
I've
All right.
heard that too. I thought, where did I hear? He was in like Havana or Haiti or something like that. That's what I've heard on that one.
Why would you give up your life at the height of fame to go live in Cuba? Um,
I mean, you don't think when everyone's trying to get our picture and autograph, we're not going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
I mean, we
I'm out,
might not.
I'm out.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna fake our death and move to Cuba.
So you're moving to somewhere else.
All right, how about this one then? Melania Trump didn't want to be first lady, so she ran off. And as to not appear weak, Donald Trump hired a body double to just be Melania from then on out.
I,
Uh,
I, I mean, he has the money to do it, but I don't buy that one either.
All right. Um, all right then. How about Paul McCartney? He actually died in a car wreck November 9th of 1966. But to spare the world the pain and suffering of losing one of the Beatles, they hired a lookalike. And from November 9th, 1966 until today, the guy who's pretending to be Paul McCartney is not actually Paul McCartney.
mhm. Paul is
I,
dead.
I think that one might be more believable, if he didn't continue to perform and do other things. Like, didn't he perform recently with like Kanye and he does stuff with Wings?
That was a body double.
I
I
mean,
mean,
unless the body double's got that much talent, you would figure maybe if he actually died, then after 19, what is it, 66?
yeah. Well,
Maybe Paul McCartney stopped doing anything.
And the Beatles also like put out several albums after that. Like it was a couple years before they broke up.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that one with the talent that guy has. Unless, like you said, unless the body double is just as talented, which most
Uh,
body doubles aren't.
Paul passed down all his knowledge to the body double
Yeah.
very quickly.
They
uh,
uploaded his CPU.
okay. Here's probably the most famous body double one. Elvis. He died. Or he didn't die. He faked his death. Or they've just been using a host of body doubles to do anything with.
Well, it's a
Um,
pretty
we
easy look to pull off. So,
yeah. I mean, we all know Elvis lives in a retirement home with the black JFK.
Yeah, he did fight some mummies.
Well,
Okay. How about Vladimir Putin? He actually uses three different body doubles because he is either due to his a terrible illness or he also possibly died, and the Russian government didn't want to show weakness, so they have just been parading body doubles around.
I think
I,
all three of them should make a suicide pact right now.
I'd say I could see him having a body double just because he's that kind of ego guy. He just wants to ride his horse shirtless and not actually appear in anything else.
I could see them using a body double because of how much he's at risk, but at the same time, his ego is so great. I couldn't imagine him not like being involved, like in whatever he could be involved in. Like,
No,
all right,
he just wants to ride his horse shirtless through the hills of Russia.
yes, yeah. I mean,
That's
and
all.
who does, and who doesn't really?
I don't.
All right, this one involves some sci-fi, some Illuminati. Beyonce died, um, and Jay-Z and her producers, again, not wanting the money train to die and using their Illuminati, cloned her.
Well, wouldn't it take a long time for that clone to age, to be the
This is
proper age?
this is where I think most of the conspiracy theories fall apart. I mean, Justin hit it on the nail. There we go. I haven't done this long enough. I can't speak right. Hit the nail on the head. Like, so you're telling me that this clone, not only did they have one just readily available, but had the level of talent that, Paul McCartney had, or Beyonce or Melissa can do what Avril Lavigne did. Like,
Yeah. You're
You know,
saying this clone didn't come out a little derpy? Just came
uh,
Kill
out,
me.
yeah, just came out firing on all cylinders.
ready to go. Okay, this one could be fun for Jeremy. Katy Perry is
Ooh.
actually John Benet Ramsey.
I feel like I'm familiar with that one. I think that came up in one of our really old episodes. That's fucked up. No.
No. I mean, how old would John Benet Ramsey be right now?
Pretty close to the same age, I think.
You think we got the internet?
Well, that is true.
Hmm.
The internet does exist.
Hmm.
So
We can't all look it up, guys.
She
oh,
We
was
gotta.
born. She was born in 1990.
Who
when
was?
was was
Renee Ramsey.
okay? When was Katy Perry born?
Katy Perry was born in '84.
So that's a pretty significant difference when it comes to
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
All right, this one could shock and amaze. Miley Cyrus actually died in 2010. She either OD'd or was murdered for not wanting to participate in some sort of child sex ring that she saw, or was because she's deeply involved as a child star. So they replaced her with another Disney star who had plastic surgery to look like Miley Cyrus.
Oh my God.
All right.
When did they say that happened?
2010.
Okay.
Did
Well, that
her
would
did her
explain
look drastically change from 2009 to 2010
her
or
sound changed. Their music sounds a
2011?
lot different.
I'm going to say
So
I'm not the Miley Cyrus expert of the three of us.
That would only be one of us would be the expert.
only in a few areas. I don't really know too much about her personal life, but I could tell you a few.
The few other areas you'd like to know better.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we I think we've all seen those areas. She's not shy about showing those off.
Yeah.
All right
Or her
then.
body double.
Our her body double is, and that's and Billy Ray and Noah and all the other ones are just perfectly on board with it.
Dolly Parton.
All right then. Eminem, he OD'd in the mid 2000s and was replaced by either an android, a clone, or a body double or a stand-in.
Okay.
Which supposes one again that our cloning technology is advanced enough that we can just pop one out ready to go, or B, our Android technology is far enough along that we can also just have one of those readily available.
And still sound exactly like him.
Yes.
All right.
All right then. Christina Aguilera has been replaced by a series of clones by the Illuminati for no apparent reason that I can discover. They just are pretty certain that there's
So
just
Just
she's not
because.
real.
yeah, it's just the Illuminati for some reason feels like they continually have to clone her. Like, whatever one of the clones goes bad, goes rogue, does something, so they just throw out another one. Uh,
What?
yeah,
Uh, do you think
nobody
these
seems.
clones have like self-destruct like
Uh,
mechanisms in them? Or
apparently,
you think
Christina.
they take them out back and tell them just to look at the pretty flowers?
I don't know, but apparently Christina Aguilera is her clones have some problems because Miley Cyrus is one. She's humming along, but
Same with Avril Lavigne's.
yeah, okay. Okay, this one also a little bit crazy. Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were in a horrible car accident. Britney Spears died. Justin Timberlake has been in a vegetative coma ever since. But because we didn't want that money train to stop, we replaced them also with clones.
Okay.
Interesting.
Um,
I feel like I gotta look more into this cloning technology that we already have.
yeah, who knew? I mean, Megan Fox is also constantly being changed out by a constant rotation of clones.
That might be for the best.
Can any of them act?
They keep changing them out until they find one that can.
Yeah.
Do you have talent? No, next.
Next.
Okay. And then this one gets a little bit spooky. Taylor Swift is actually a clone of Anton LaVey's daughter.
Hmm.
Now, are you aware of who Anton LaVey is, Justin?
Isn't that the guy? What did he do? Yeah, that weird cult guy, right?
Well,
Am I
yeah,
thinking of the right person?
he founded the Church of Satan.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. And so his daughter, who is very much alive, still kicking, running around, doing stuff. Apparently, they cloned her at some point, and Taylor Swift is now that clone who is off doing, bubblegum candy pop and,
Yeah.
you know,
One's doing that and the other's doing devil worship.
right.
It's
And
like
then,
it's like any episode of like Simpsons or anything where they take like the good and the bad and they split them.
so, and then in one last bit of this one is not really a body double, but it wasn't the Titanic that sunk.
It
It
was
was
a
at,
sister ship.
it was the Olympic. The Olympic had been damaged in some sort of storm or attack, and it was easier to rebrand it the Titanic and send it out and sink it for the insurance payment.
Yes, I have heard that one. That's how I knew where you were going with it.
So,
Insurance
yeah,
fraud.
yep.
Stop
It's the
it.
most believable one so far.
Yeah.
It's insane that, like, I mean, so like Damar Hamlin had a heart attack on the field. It's incredibly, hard to imagine that a 24-year-old in the prime of his life did, but crazier things have happened. I mean, it happens.
Well,
And
even with like the DeMar Hamlin thing, that's happened to other athletes, usually around baseball players, where they get that blunt force trauma right to the heart at just the right moment of their heartbeat, and it can stop it.
right now, and so and he's a 24-year-old kid who wasn't necessarily the superstar of the team. So he wasn't used to the pressure, and all of a sudden, and they're shoving tubes and all sorts of stuff down his throat, and, who knows what else to keep him alive. So the first time he goes out in public, of course he keeps himself covered up and doesn't want to talk. It's and so everybody's like, "Oh, he really died. Oh, he's a body double." Blah blah blah. And then when he finally did do the video, everybody's like, "Oh, look at how terrible the CGI is." It's just, yeah. Every day, like I put my finger on the delete button of Twitter, and I should, I know I should, but I can't bring myself to do it. I need to.
Yeah.
But so yeah. So I mean, granted, I didn't give you guys a heads up on that because I wanted to just talk about the stuff, and that's fine. That's how we're gonna do things. Um,
That's how we've always done things.
right. Um, but any of these body double conspiracies, did any of them like ring, you think, oh, that one could be true? Not necessarily the Titanic one.
Oh,
That was just
I would say besides the Titanic one, no.
How do I know you two aren't body doubles or clones?
I feel bad for the guy with clone of then. His
right.
body's wrecked.
I mean, if they took the time to clone me, like that's just a waste of all sorts of technology.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
make a clone of this guy. Make sure we give him kidney stones.
oh yeah,
Can't handle his sugars.
yeah, that's oh yeah, wreck his knees. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe Tupac fleeing the country.
the only reason I don't is that Tupac was like, I mean, he was so, I mean, he seemed to really enjoy being famous. Like that was, I mean, and he went to school to be an actor, and that's what he wanted to do. And music was, I'm not, I don't know how much of an actor. I know he did a few movies here or there, and none of them really ring a bell outside of just a cameo here or there. But you know, like he seemed to love to be on camera. Like that was, and I'm not trying to shame him or throw him under the bus. There's a lot of people who like to be on camera. There's no slight there, but I have a hard time believing that basically at the height of his popularity, I mean, he could not have been more famous than what he was. He just went, fuck it. I'm gonna fake my death and move to Cuba.
I mean, maybe there was other factors in it. Maybe he was caught up in something, so they're like, "Hey, we got to get you out of this." Maybe he was a Cuban spy.
Human spy. Could be.
What is Cuba's? All right. I mean, I guess anything is possible, really. I mean,
Yeah, we never know.
Hmm. His friend Too Short thinks he's still alive.
Crazy ass espionage going on here. James
I
Bond stuff.
I do think it's I mean, like at least like with Avril Lavigne or like the Paul McCartney one, like they have like this really intricate backstory about like, oh, is this body double and then she died and they immediately replaced her, and like there's all like if you look into the Avril Lavigne one, there's like layers upon layers of like this Melissa person started like sending out signals on TV to let everybody know that she's trapped in this horrible life of being Avril when she just wants to go back to being Melissa. And like there are
This
song there
horrible life of making millions of dollars.
yeah, there are songs that have been written kind of letting people know, like, but or Palma, but the ones that are like completely and totally unbelievable are like the Beyonce one. Like she died and we cloned her.
Yeah.
Like our cloning technology is not that good. Like right now, our cloning technology for like sheep is like we took this DNA and this DNA and then we put it together and then in vitro fertilized. So basically, it was just like, in vitro fertilization. It's barely cloning. Like, like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't think either one of you watched Orphan Black. I know I've brought it up before,
No.
No.
but Orphan Black is a show about clones. Like this woman finds out that she's actually like a clone and not in like there's like 274 of them. Like the show only focuses on like five. Tatiana Maslany, the girl who was She-Hulk, played the clone, and like I mean, it's super like. But even in that show, like Jeremy said, like the clones had to grow from birth to however old they were, so it wasn't like like they would have had to clone Beyonce like you know a few months after she was born, on the outside chance that they knew, like just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Maybe
think
maybe we have like some kind of agent technology too.
right, but I mean, the technology isn't like there, like it's not. Just because we saw it in Star Wars doesn't mean it's real. Like, you know,
Yeah. But
because there's a lot of things that happen in Star Wars that aren't real.
Hmm.
Which did either of you watch Andor yet?
No.
no.
Okay, it's really good, but it's really slow. Like it is not like the fast paced, like moving, like a lot of the other Star Wars stuff is. Like it's a slow burn.
I
If we've
haven't even
learned if
watched, man.
I'd say if we've learned anything, it's me and Jeremy do not keep up with things.
No.
Well, I mean, it is a few months old at this point, so I thought maybe.
I haven't even watched The Mandalorian yet.
Either
So
season?
neither, no, none of them.
Okay, well, season three is coming, so you got some. You can
Well,
you can burn through.
we'll see.
Well, let's talk about the other NFL conspiracy. Um, Is it scripted?
I don't know. Did you see that picture of the Super Bowl script had leaked?
Yeah, I mean,
What?
Photoshop is an amazing thing, is it not?
Eagles won 37-34.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
remember who the MVP was.
I don't think it said. I think it just had like the breakdown of like what happened in each quarter,
Yeah.
the attendance, like the game time. Like it was basically just like a box shot of the box score. Um, I don't know. Everybody's going on about NFL is rigged, NFL is rigged because, the officials are terrible. I mean, flat out. I mean, both of those games. I mean, I wonder if Philly could have beaten San Francisco if San Francisco wasn't on their fourth string quarterback. Like I feel like they were just one more injury away from bringing Joe Montana out of retirement.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but the officiating in that game early was just awful. I mean,
I mean, I know there's also even former players who say that the NFL is scripted.
well, I know that Arian Foster came out and talked about the like he claimed that the he did an interview where he was saying that the he would get a script at the beginning of every season, but he also did it in a way that like clearly he was being sarcastic and trying to be funny. But the we live in an age where sarcasm and nuance are lost on people. And so there were just articles upon articles written about how Arian Foster blows the lid off the NFL and proves that it's fake. And I was like, guy, like you don't get that he was trying to be funny? Like like he was being sarcastic when he said, you know,
I don't know. Could be.
I don't believe the NFL is rigged any more than I believe that well, in any of the conspiracy that we just talked about. I
I
do
mean, you
think,
got to think the NFL, though, at least has an agenda of who they want to win and who they'd want to see.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Don't you think if they really truly had an agenda, they wouldn't have put Tom Brady in the Super Bowl that many times,
No, they would.
especially
That's
towards the end when like everybody was turning on him, like
well, that's why he won the Super Bowl with Tampa. They're like, all
or
right, you can win the Super Bowl and then you're done, you're out. So Brady retired, and he goes, I'm just kidding, I'm coming back.
or don't you think maybe the Jets would win it a little bit more often?
No, they're too busy pushing the COVID vaccine on people.
I mean, it's just
What?
Oh, the owner is one of the like Johnson and Johnson
He's like,
billionaires.
oh, really?
Yeah, somehow linked to that company,
Oh,
which is why Aaron Rodgers will never go there because he is immunized, not
well,
vaccinated.
yes. He's a new age hippie.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there's a strong argument that you could make that under David Stern, the NBA was maybe not rigged isn't maybe the right word, but heavily influenced in the way that David Stern wanted to make sure that Allen Iverson was in the finals, not Milwaukee.
yeah. And
And
Patrick Ewing went to the Knicks.
um and several other teams were kept out of the play, out of the championship because they wanted to make sure that certain players, certain teams were in it. I think Adam Silver definitely has changed that and moved it back to where it was before David Stern. But I have a hard time believing that like the owner of the Cleveland Browns or the owner of certain franchises would just be on board with being, like at some point, like wouldn't you think like the Lions like would be like, come on, man, just let me have one year. Like
Maybe. let us sweep the Packers just one time.
Right. Let us just
Well,
have one Super Bowl so that we're not completely pathetic.
yeah,
I mean, the officiating was awful in that Chiefs game. I mean, on both sides of the ball. Everybody is talking about how the Bengals got robbed. No, the Bengals didn't get robbed. They just didn't play better. Like they had opportunities to beat the Chiefs and they didn't take them. But there were a lot of bad calls on both sides of that ball. And I only watched the first two, maybe three quarters of the Eagles 49ers game. And man, the officiating was just making sure that not only a fourth string quarterback, but the 49ers couldn't get anything going against those Eagles. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I still don't think that the officials were, I just think that they're bad at their job. I think if we
I,
made them, if we made all of them full-time employees, not just some of them.
that's what I was gonna say. If that was their full time job, I think it'd be a lot better.
And
If
then
it's
if
like,
we,
all right, during Monday through Friday, you do this. Sunday, you officiate again.
right, and it's, full-time employee, but also put into the contract that you can hold them responsible. I mean, yeah, they're going to blow a call here or there. They're going to miss a holding or, misinterpret a rule here or there. But the ones that are just egregious, fine them, suspend them, or if they're bad enough, fire them. But I mean, because of the way it's set now, they're, you can't touch them. Like
I think there is a grading scale that they grade the officials on, and that's how they determine which ones will do the Super Bowl.
there is, but I mean, so you don't get the Super Bowl. Well, okay. I mean,
You get you the worst ones get the Pro Bowl.
right. Like, do they even put officials out on the field for the Pro Bowl? Like,
I know. I gotta assume they do.
but
Maybe they could do that. For the Pro Bowl, they could do like the players versus the refs.
That'd be fun. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Remember that bad call you made on me? Just lay the ref out.
Break his neck.
oh,
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, uh, injure his neck.
Yeah, maybe light him up, have him do a little crosser above the middle, and you just were you defenseless?
uh, yeah.
Nicholas looks very intrigued.
but I'm trying to figure out what it is he just sent me, and I
A
can't find
picture of Aaron Rodgers with some chick who's going to be leading a astrological immersion party. That's the kind of stuff he's into now.
Yeah,
A
it.
he's
freeze.
Oh, wait, is that the witch that he was dating, or is that just some
blue
random?
Earth or blue as Earth or whatever her name was.
Yeah, or is that just some random?
I think it's just some random lady. I don't know. It
Uh,
came up
I
in my
don't.
feed yesterday.
I don't click on anything during these because I'm not sure how to get back to wherever we are.
oh.
That's,
Where am I?
yeah, basically. I don't see you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's too. If there was an actual script, there's just too many. It's like I go with all conspiracy theories. The more people you get involved in it, the bigger it is, the less likely it's actually true. Because, like the three of us could keep a secret and take something to the grave.
Could we?
Hmm.
Well, I mean, I think if it was bad enough, you
Oh,
know, like if, Jeremy called us and was like, guys, I did it again. You got to come help me bury the hooker this time.
Again.
Um,
let me get my shovel.
I think the three of us, but if we added like a fourth person or a fifth person or a sixth person, like you just start adding, it's too many, you know. So when you think about how many people are involved with the Packers, so you got 53 on just players, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many coach?
Active.
53 active players. How many people do you have on the practice squad? 12, 14?
12, 13.
Okay. So you're at 64, 66, and then another what, 20 something coaches?
Yeah, between coaches and trainers, I'd say 20's fair.
All right. So just player
Huh,
personnel,
it's about 100 total.
you're about 100. And then you got all the front office staff. That's just the Packers.
Mm.
There's 32 teams.
Well, as an owner of the Packers, I don't get a script every year.
Right.
I'll just put that out there.
I'm going to go ahead and say the parking lot attendant doesn't get the script, but
I
well,
mean,
yeah,
if
there's
the owner's not getting informed of what's going on,
yeah, I mean, it's just, if you're looking at, 200 people minimum for each team, you're looking at probably 6,000 people who surely one of them is going to be like, fuck it, I don't care. Here's the script, here's the actual,
yeah.
like this would have been blown up a long time ago.
So you imagine you find something like that at like a thrift store, NFL script 2002.
Well, it hasn't happened in a while, but I know every so often a player or a coach will leave a playbook on like a bus or a plane, and somebody will find it. And,
Yeah.
I- you know, now that everything's gone digital, I don't think it happens as much, but I know it used to happen a lot more.
Everything's
Yeah.
on there. Microsoft Pros or whatever they're called.
Right. But
Surface.
That's it.
yeah. Well, when Tom Brady isn't destroying them.
Or Rogers or
I did
offensive
Rod
coordinators.
did Rodgers actually destroy any of them?
I don't know. He's thrown them.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming that more than just Tom Brady has done it. He's just the only one that they've shown on camera
I
that
mean,
I
a lot of the players you see are throwing helmets.
yeah.
Some throw helmets into the backs of officials and don't get any kind of penalty for it.
Ooh.
Some of them throw helmets and cost their team a playoff victory.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Looking at you, guy with the San Diego Chargers, whose name I can't remember right now.
Oh, I'm trying to remember which one that was. Yeah.
I wanted to say Joey Bosa, but Bosa is San Francisco 49ers, so
Well, one Bosa and the other Bosa. There's Joe and Nick.
maybe it was Nick Bosa then, because he's
Nuts.
because he's the one that basically put the who did the Bengals beat the Chargers in the playoffs?
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. Well, that part
I,
doesn't matter, I
yeah,
guess.
it's like Mahomes flopping on the sideline.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, was it a flop? Was it not a flop? Who knows? But
It was a
you
flop.
can't
There's a
you
flop.
but you know better than just shove the quarterback when he's that far out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like
The,
you can't.
he shouldn't have pushed it, but the reason I say it's a flop because as he's going down, he's already got his arms in the air looking at the official.
Yeah,
He was looking for it even before he fell.
but again, like it's the quarterback and he's clearly out of bounds. Like don't you know better?
So
Like
you're so expand the out of bounds lines so you can hit them.
Yeah.
that or just play smarter.
I don't know. It's probably another year or two till the quarterbacks just wear flags.
You know what? I mean, now they're talking about what trying to ban that one type of tackle
The
that
drop tackle.
whatever that is. And it's like, fine, fucking just get rid of tackling altogether. It's just two-hand touch or flag. Like just take them out of pads and just have them out there running around.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that part of it is that these guys are bigger and stronger and faster, and I mean, at some point, I don't know what you can do. I don't, I mean, I'm glad I'm not a defensive coordinator or a defensive player because I don't like, I mean, what do you do? Like when you breathe on the quarterback and you get called for pass interference or, roughing the quarterback or,
Yeah, there's some of the penalties, like if you touch their helmet, I don't think that should be roughing the passer. Like you're jumping up, swatting for the ball that they're throwing, and you brush against their helmet with your pinky. That's not roughing.
Hmm.
well, yeah, I mean, there's a difference between roughing the passer and just football. And,
Yeah, it's like the two different. There's roughing the kicker and running into the kicker, which is what one's 5 and one's 15.
yes,
Could be the same with the quarterback.
right. Yeah. Well, and that's where I mean, it's a totally different thing, but I still think that interceptions, there should be two different types of interceptions, one on the wide receiver or one on the receiver, because not all receivers I mean, it could be a tight end or a running
Yeah,
back, but one that's on the receiver and one that's on the quarterback, because there's a number of interceptions that well, that wasn't the quarterback's fault. That was the receiver for, knocking it straight up in the air.
yeah, I feel the same way with pass interference. There shouldn't be like a 55-yard pass interference. If it's
So
like
you,
incidental, maybe you give them 5 in the first. If it's intentional, 15 in the first.
so you think it should be more like the college does, where it is just 15 in a first?
Yeah, depending on the type of contact. Like if you're both running and your feet get tangled, that shouldn't be a spot foul. Where if you're getting blown by and you just grab the guy so he doesn't keep running, maybe you give him a bigger penalty on that. But I don't like the ones that you see that are like 60-yard pass interference penalty on a ball the quarterback just heaved up there.
Well, then this is what should happen. Goodell should either step down and let the three of us take over,
Bad idea.
or they should hire us on to some sort of committee that gets to, have some sort of say so in the implementation of rules.
Yeah, consultants.
Absolutely.
Yeah, better
Get,
idea.
Goodell, get on that. We know you listen.
I wouldn't want to be the sole commissioner. That would be awful. Or 1/3 of the commissioners.
Yeah, to say it wouldn't be the sole commissioner; it'd be the three of us.
Still would be awful. Imagine all the hate mail we'd get.
Uh,
That's
but
why that's why I say put us on a committee. Pay us under the table.
as the first act of the triumvirate of commissioners, my first act would be to excommunicate the Dallas Cowboys.
Ah, that's a good one.
Just kick them out of the league altogether.
No unretiring.
You said you're retired. You're done.
Yeah. Have a play out game for last place. Play in for the first overall pick.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Who wants it more?
Or have the worst NFL team play like the best, I don't know, AFL team, CFL team, and the winner of that one is in the league next year.
I mean, we could institute relegation like the Premier League does, where if you're the worst team, you get sent down to the minor league, and the best team in the minor league comes up.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So,
That would that be
uh,
the AFL champion comes up?
I don't know if it's the AFL or like Alabama.
I mean, all I know is that means this year the Bears would be out.
Yes, yes, it would. They would be out, and then
One of the oldest franchises. You're out.
they, yeah. Well,
Better, better luck next year.
do you go AFL or do you go NCAA? So like, Georgia comes up. Georgia gets to play in the NFL next year.
Yeah, I'd stick with the AFL because at least they're getting paid.
Okay. I don't know with name and likeness the way it is anymore. Those guys are, basically getting paid now.
Yeah. I'd stick with the AFL because a lot of AFL players are just NFL. I don't want to call them busts, wannabes. They've been in the NFL, they just didn't make it.
Yeah, I wannabes is probably a better term than bust, but you gonna watch the USFL? Is that the one they're pushing now?
Is it a
Back again?
second season?
Oh yeah, made it to a second season.
Nice. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
And then
Even the USFL team, because I know some players on there were in the NFL.
I mean that's where Josh Johnson has hung out, on his many rosters.
I think that's what Dexter Williams was last year,
Who?
Packer running back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think is this the season that The Rock is bringing the XFL back, or is he waiting for another year on that one?
Supposed to be this year.
Okay,
Sweet. That's awesome.
I don't know for sure if it'll happen.
because he bought that from what's his name there.
Vince McMahon,
Yeah, Vince McMahon. He bought that from Vince McMahon. Is going to run it the right way now.
the Rockway.
Yeah,
Cool.
which
I like the first time the XFL was out. I liked how they did kickoffs.
Yeah.
Instead of the coin flip, they would just have the fastest two guys sprint for the
oh
ball
yeah.
at the 50.
Well, come on. We know that the whole reason you like the original XFL is because they had the locker room cam.
I don't even remember that. I remember the nicknames on the jersey.
There was like two guys that made it from the XFL into the NFL.
Yeah, Rod Smart was He Hate Me. I believe he made it with the Panthers. And then there's a Tommy Maddox, the quarterback of the Steelers.
Yeah,
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
that sounds about right. I mean, I think those were the only two that I think a number of them made it onto the roster, maybe for a game or two, but I think those are the only two that made it stuck.
Yeah, He Hate Me.
It's coming back really soon, actually, February 18th.
Wow, so the week after the Super Bowl. So, all right, forget the Super Bowl party. February 18th, Tony's house, XFL kickoff party.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
that's probably like what day of the week is that?
Well, I'm guessing
Saturday.
Sunday. Oh, is it a
That,
Saturday?
Yeah.
that'd be
Oh,
like
okay.
it'd be weird if it was like Wednesday.
Well,
Wednesday at like 6:45.
much like the movement that I've been on for the last couple of years, that trick or treat / Halloween should be moved to the last Saturday of the month rather than the 31st. I think the Super Bowl should be moved to that Saturday at like, you know, I mean, you could even do a night game for Saturday, but I mean, it would be nicer if you put it at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But there's no reason if you're going to take a 2 week break that you can't move the Super Bowl to a Saturday, evening instead of keeping it on Sunday night
They should just make the Monday after a national holiday.
or that.
Or you just take off work because you already have 365 days notice of when the Super Bowl is.
I
Or
mean,
that.
yeah, I mean, listen, if you want to get technical,
I
That's
actually
the
did this year.
that's the approach I always take.
no, I'm going to do what I always do, and I'm going to be like, I guess I'm just going to work really tired the next day.
I might just work Tuesday that week instead of Monday.
Eh, I don't know. Maybe I'll call it. I don't. We'll worry about that next week.
That's future Nicholas's problem.
That's it.
Hmm.
Did anybody watch anything interesting this in the last week or so?
Not that I can recall. I'm trying to think if I watched it. All I remember doing all week was sleeping, work and sleep.
I watched some old episodes of Eli Roth's History of Horror on AMC.
Okay.
It's a good show. They dive into a bunch of different categories on each episode, and yeah,
Did you find it inspirational?
I did.
Perfect.
All right. Um, I
Start it.
watched I watched Poker Face on Peacock.
Never
Okay.
heard of it.
Um, Natasha Lyonne is a human lie detector. Like when she hears you speak, she just knows. Like it's something in her head that says, you're telling the truth or you're lying. And so she's constantly finding herself in a scenario where somebody got murdered. And so she's having to solve murder.
How do you find yourself in that scenario?
I mean, like when you
Oh,
watch
oh,
like
oh, darn! Another friend got murdered. Wasn't me.
right, I mean, at some point you have to think that maybe this person's doing all the murdering. If they're always it's like CSI, like Vegas, if Vegas was as bad as it is in TV, like it would be a horrible place to live. Like every week, multiple people are being killed in some sort of horrific serial killer way,
Yeah, you just don't go there anymore.
right? Like at some point, the city would just be empty. Just people would be like,
Yeah,
we're done.
it's
We're not
I
going there.
I feel that way with like Gotham City and stuff too. It's like, why are people still living there? Why do people move there?
Right.
Like Detroit, just leave.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, okay, so reality aside, Poker Face is interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's very well written. Ryan Johnson, the guy who did Looper and Knives Out, wrote, created it, directed the first couple episodes. So I recommend it. I think it's pretty good.
All right.
Why are you attacking me?
Um, okay then. What do we got? Can't think of anything. I know that the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie starting here pretty soon, like next weekend, weekend after.
I believe that was a few years ago.
Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Jeremy got
Jeez.
jokes.
Oh, want to get Mr. Technical over here all of a sudden. So I guess other than the Super Bowl, we're not really. I was watching a lot of old episodes of Chopped today, and they would not stop running ads for that Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, they had like every commercial break for like 4 or 5 commercial breaks in a row. That was the only commercial they ran. They ran the same commercial like 3 times in a row.
Hmm.
Does it make you want that game more or less, or opinion didn't change?
I mean, I kind of want to play it because it looks like it could be fun, but at the same time, like I'm just annoyed by it now. So like if they put it on Game Pass, I'll download it, see if it's any good.
Right.
But that Hot Wheel game that you said that you were talking about is coming to Game Pass real soon.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
That's
I'm fine.
cool.
I'm
A lot of
finally
fun.
gonna I'm finally gonna get a chance to play that game.
A lot of fun. I'm about 60% done with it.
Are you building up your basement rec room?
I haven't actually done anything with the basement yet.
It's
And
pretty
and I
interesting.
think I've got like 15 unopened boxes at the moment.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the junkie in me would just be like wanting to open those as soon as I get them.
Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, I'll just save them all.
Should have a
Just those,
big stream where you open all of them at the same time.
it's just those stupid timed ones I can't get done.
Oh yeah, because they cheat. And the fucking dinosaur closes his mouth all the time too fast.
Do you mean the snake?
Maybe.
It's where you're like jumping and it closes its mouth.
Yeah.
Because that's a snake.
It's a snake.
Yeah, that's a snake.
Let me see.
There's the stupid spider. I hate that spider. And then did you do the one with the little tornadoes too? That one sucks.
I didn't do that one.
Oh, there's little tornadoes on the track that just go back and forth. And
Hmm.
they seem to speed up when you approach them.
Yeah, I have not encountered that.
Yeah, that one's annoying. But I'm pretty sure that's a snake, not a dinosaur.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
I mean, is that
His
just is that a difference between PlayStation and Xbox? Like PlayStation is a snake and Xbox is a
no,
dinosaur? Okay.
I don't know. I play on PC, but it's probably all
Oh,
the same
okay.
shit. I'm
I
just
mean,
probably
yeah, the one
wrong.
you do start some races inside a dinosaur's mouth,
Right.
but the
Maybe
track that
that's
actually closes on you is a snake.
okay. Fair enough.
Hey, Nicholas here. Quick apology. You're going to miss the last few minutes of the episode here because I fucked up the recording. Jeremy goes on a rant about the new GoldenEye 007 import on Game Pass. We reminisce a little bit about games. But sometimes things happen, we move on and we learn, and we will, well, we're going to make mistakes again because that's who we are. We are PCR. And so, just wanted to let you know that I am aware that the podcast just kind of ended abruptly and you didn't get your standard classic. So I'm going to give you the line that I know you're holding out for. Stupid never walks alone. And boy, does that apply to what I just did right now.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.